The wind howled outside. Rain lashed against the cabin's old windows. Inside, 3 friends huddled around a flickering lantern, their faces pale with fear. The old radio crackled, a frantic voice warning of something unspeakable loose in the woods. A low growl echoed from the darkness beyond the cabin door, sending shivers down their spines. "We should never have come here," whispered one, his voice trembling. The friends exchanged uneasy glances. The floorboards creaked behind them, slow and deliberate footsteps. Terror tightened its grip. They knew something was hunting them. The growl came again, closer this time. The lantern sputtered, casting long, dancing shadows that amplified their fear. Suddenly, the cabin door burst open, a figure silhouetted against the stormy night. They braced themselves, hearts pounding in their chests. But it wasn't the monstrous creature they'd feared. It was a man, tall and athletic, his face illuminated by a lightning strike. "I need your help," he gasped, clutching his side. The friends carried the injured athlete into the cabin, their initial terror replaced by a sense of urgency. They quickly learned his name was Mark, and he was the star player of their city's basketball team. The championship game was hours away, and their hopes rested on his shoulders. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. Mark's ankle was badly sprained, his face contorted in pain. "I can't miss this game," he groaned, his voice filled with despair. "It's everything I've ever worked for." His desperation resonated with the friends. They knew the feeling of a dream slipping through their fingers. Using whatever they could find in the cabin, they worked on his injury, their fear of the unknown momentarily forgotten. They bandaged his ankle, their movements fueled by adrenaline and the faint hope that they could get him back on the court. Outside, the storm raged on, a metaphor for the battle against time and the odds stacked against them. With Mark patched up and the first rays of dawn breaking through the storm clouds, a new problem presented itself. The radio crackled back to life, the frantic voice now replaced by a calmer yet more alarming message. The storm had triggered volcanic activity in the mountains. The cabin was in the path of a potential eruption. Panic threatened to consume them once more. The friends looked around the cabin, their safe haven now a potential death trap. They had a decision to make: stay and risk being consumed by molten lava or brave the treacherous mountain roads with an injured athlete. They knew time was running out. The ground trembled beneath their feet, a stark reminder of the danger lurking below. They hoisted Mark up, his arms slung over their shoulders. With grim determination, they stepped out of the cabin and into the remnants of the storm. The air was thick with the smell of sulfur, and a menacing orange glow painted the sky. The drive down the mountain was a blur of adrenaline and near misses. As they navigated the treacherous mountain roads, the car radio became their lifeline to the outside world. The announcer's voice crackled through the speakers, delivering updates on the game and the escalating volcanic situation. But then a new voice cut through the static, a voice filled with raw emotion. It was Mark's mother. She spoke of her son, her voice thick with love and worry. She described his dedication to basketball, the countless hours he had spent honing his skills, the sacrifices he had made to pursue his dreams. Her words painted a vivid picture of a young man determined to make his family proud. The friends listened intently, their hearts heavy with the weight of her words. Reaching the city limits, they found themselves in a traffic jam caused by the mandatory evacuation. The clock was ticking, and their anxiety reached new heights. Mark, his ankle throbbing, refused to give up. He had come too far, sacrificed too much. He looked at the friends, his eyes pleading. "We have to find another way," he insisted, his voice hoarse. Suddenly, music filled the air. A street performer, oblivious to the impending disaster, was belting out a soulful tune, his nimble fingers dancing across the keys of an old upright piano. People, seeking a moment of respite from the chaos, had gathered around, their faces a mixture of fear and awe. An idea sparked in one of the friends' minds. He jumped out of the car and approached the musician, whispering urgently in his ear. The musician nodded, a mischievous glint in his eyes. The city, usually bustling with life, was now shrouded in an eerie silence, punctuated by the distant rumbling of the volcano. The evacuation was in full swing, the streets deserted save for a few stragglers, and the echoing sirens in the distance. As they slipped through the shadows, they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Every darkened alleyway, every flickering streetlight seemed to whisper tales of suspicion and intrigue. They were acutely aware of the danger lurking in the shadows, the fear amplified by the city's eerie silence. A sense of paranoia crept in, their camaraderie strained by the weight of their mission. Was someone following them? Were they walking into a trap? Ducking into a seemingly abandoned diner, they found refuge in a familiar setting. A tired waitress wiping down the counter, a lone chef trying to make sense of the day's orders, and the comforting aroma of coffee and greasy food offered a strange sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. The familiar banter between the waitress and the chef, their witty remarks and playful jabs brought a smile to their faces. It was a reminder that even in the face of extraordinary circumstances, life, in all its mundane glory, goes on. Their tense shoulders relaxed, their anxieties momentarily forgotten as they were drawn into the diner's comforting rhythm. They ordered coffee and sandwiches, their hunger a distant second to the urgency of their mission. As they ate, they shared stories, jokes, and words of encouragement. Leaving the diner, they found an unexpected ally in their race against time, a group of park rangers on horseback. The rangers, their faces etched with concern, were guiding a herd of deer away from the city and the looming threat of the volcano. They were a symbol of nature's raw power and the delicate balance that humanity often disrupts. The friends explained their predicament, their words tumbling over each other in their haste. The lead ranger, a woman with eyes that held the wisdom of the mountains themselves, listened intently. When they were finished, she nodded, her expression unreadable. Without a word, she signaled to her team, and they were soon riding alongside the rangers, the horses' hooves pounding a steady rhythm against the pavement. The city, with all its worries and complexities, faded into the background as they focused on the task at hand. The air crackled with energy as they finally arrived at the arena, the ground vibrating with an unnatural hum. The volcano's fury was reaching its peak, the sky a canvas of fiery hues. But something else was happening, something inexplicable. A strange object, a disk of pure light, hovered above the arena, casting an ethereal glow on the scene below. People, instead of fleeing in terror, were gathering, their faces a mixture of awe and apprehension. They were drawn to the spectacle, the promise of something extraordinary unfolding before their very eyes. The friends exchanged uneasy glances. What had started as a desperate race against time to get Mark to his game had morphed into something far stranger, something that defied explanation. The object in the sky, no longer content with mere observation, began to descend, its light intensifying, bathing the arena in an otherworldly glow. As the spaceship landed, the friends, still clutching their injured companion, found themselves at the center of an impossible choice. The alien visitors, their intentions unknown, beckoned them forward, their eyes filled with an ancient wisdom. Mark, his face pale but his eyes determined, gripped their hands. The decision was made in a heartbeat. They had come too far, faced too much to back down now. Together, they stepped towards the unknown, the fate of their world hanging in the balance. As they drew closer, the spaceship's hum intensified, a symphony of otherworldly sounds washing over them. The lead alien extended a hand, his touch surprisingly warm and reassuring. He spoke, his voice a melodic hum that resonated deep within their souls. He spoke of courage, of sacrifice, of the interconnectedness of all beings.